Hello, folks. You are looking at a way to end cigarette hoarding, or slow down cigarette hoarding, I should say. This is a dementia Alzheimer's tool that I used to combat my mom's hoarding of cigarettes. She was addicted to smoking. And I would normally, before this machine, I would normally buy her a pack. This is a cheaper brand because she was on a fixed income. We weren't getting her Marlboro or anything upper, echelon or whatever you want to call it. But she wanted red 100s. That was her thing, red 100s. So what would happen, I would give her a pack or two, and then I would leave, and she would hide them. She would hide them from herself. She would hide them from her caregivers. She would hide them from me. But with dementia and Alzheimer's patients, they can't remember, and they don't write down their hiding spots. So she would call the next day and say she was out. Well, in my mind, I envisioned that she smoked the entire pack and had a habit like that, when in fact, this is what she was doing. She was taking them out individually, putting them in Ziploc bags, and then slipping them like under the carpet. We found some in her plants, hidden, tucked down. She had these artificial plants, artificial trees with like styrofoam bottoms, and she would slip the cigarettes down there, or she would, like I said, she would. We found some in the couch. We found some hidden underneath the cushions, underneath her bed, underneath the entertainment center. I mean, it got to be a real problem. And as you know, these are not cheap. You cannot get these at the dollar store. These are actually real cigarettes, and they cost real money, upwards of $10 a pack. So how was I going to stop Mom from hoarding and hiding the cigarettes from herself? Well, I searched and searched and searched. My Google searches were for a vending machine that dispensed cigarettes, but nothing that I found was even close to what I needed. I needed something that was made of metal, something that was heavy. This is about 35 pounds. Something that had a lock, that was secure. And let me tell you, this thing is secure all the way around, right? It's not going anywhere. If you drop it, it's going to put a dent in the floor. Okay, so how do you work this? You load the cigarettes, you unlock it, and you load them in the top. How many will it hold? Well, that was a disappointing factor, but it tended to work out. I could load it up and be back within 2 weeks to refill it for Mom. In me dealing with this machine, it would hold about 145 to 147 cigarettes. Now, that's not much for someone that smokes a lot, but yeah, it was better than this option, and hoping that she could find it the next day. This wasn't going anywhere. Although she did move it. She moved the machine twice. She put it in, I first put it in the living room. As soon as I left, I discovered she put it in her bedroom closet. And then it ultimately rested in a hallway closet. Mom always wanted to hide the fact that she was smoking, even though when you open the door to her 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment, you could smell it as soon as you open the door. So there really wasn't no hiding. Okay, so how does this work? Well, I had the good people at Online Vending. That's where you need to go to get yourself one of these. And what is it? It's a mechanical pencil machine. And what will happen is you'll have to buy this machine. It's a vending machine for pencils, mechanical pencils. And you'll have to buy a box of tubes. Why? Well, you can't put raw cigarettes in here. Okay, the mechanism, it will chew them up, and it won't, when it dispenses, it won't look like this. It'll probably be bent. The tobacco will be, you know, running out, and it will just be non-usable. So you have to first insert, yeah, I know, it's tedious. You have to insert each individual cigarette inside one tube. So you have to do that 145 times to fill up this machine. Now, it says 150, but this locking mechanism, it needs room to turn. And that's when I ran into trouble, because it started to squash the last few cigarettes that were up close to the lock level, and it would jam the machine. So about 145 to be safe. If you want to push it, 147. So here we go. We're going to pretend like we're Alzheimer's dementia patient, and we're going to get ourselves one cigarette. I put the dime in here. Oh, I also had to put a sign on here that says dimes only. This machine does not come labeled like this. It comes white. But this was for Mom, to let her know that this was a dime and not a penny. Okay, so you put the dime there. And as you can see, you have been dispensed one cigarette. I'll do it again. Put the dime in. One cigarette. One more time for good measure. Put the dime in. Okay, 3 dimes, 3 cigarettes have been dispensed. This was something, again, I was searching for high and low. It helped me out, and what it did for Mom is it aggravated her at first. She was very aggravated. She wanted me to come and get the machine. She wasn't going to use the machine. She wanted to go back to this method. I stayed the course. I said no. I said no to an 82-year-old dementia patient. And I said, Mom, if you want your cigarettes from now on, you're going to have to learn how to use the machine. Took about a week and a half for acceptance to set in. And from there on out, she didn't have a problem with it. Okay. I would come over every 2 weeks with groceries and with loose cigarettes that I had prepared inside tubes. And I would just transfer the tubed cigarettes into the hopper up here. And then I would close the lid. Okay. So there you go. This took me several months to think of how to end the hoarding of cigarettes that that Mom was doing. So I hope this helps you out with your dementia, Alzheimer's, or anybody else that is hoarding cigarettes and you know, cannot find them the next day or the next hour. It certainly did for me. I would have never thought that a mechanical pencil machine would be the answer to my prayers, but lo and behold, this is what did it. I want to sing the praises of onlinevending.com. They hooked me up, and I've never looked back. So get yourself one of these if you're having to solve a problem like that with, in my case, it was cigarettes being hoarded or stashed, and then the person forgetting where they were. All right, guys, I hope this helps, and take care.